Alrighty, guys, this is my third time recording this message, not because it didn't record, but because the energy is so intense that it doesn't want to come out. But the underlying energy, I did go ahead and cleanse my energy and clear the air. But the underlying energy is blessings and abundance. So I'm not going to do a full spread yet or at all. But with blessings and abundance, just remember when you are feeling disconnected, it is okay. You don't always need to feel like you know what you're doing. And in that disconnect, please be reminded that a lot of the times before breakthroughs happen is when you need to give yourself that final push. I do quote, I guess, an old associate or someone I know, where she says, something along the lines of whoever and whatever wants you disconnected from your intuition or your gifts, you're already stronger than them. So even in the instance where you might feel like you need to take a break, do that, but do it with the mindset that you are where you need to be, and that when you get back to your regular programming, you will not only be able to give a bigger push, but that push will propel you to where you not only want to be, but where you need to be. And we have self-acceptance here, and part of that self-acceptance is just understanding that phases are phases, and just like the moon, and humans, we sync with the moon cycles as well. We go through a lot, and even if you have a steady baseline of operation, you need to be okay with what your downtime looks like. Don't beat yourself up for the disconnect. Don't beat yourself up because you feel like you're unable to do something in that moment. That too is part of the process. And I know it sounds easy to say, easier said than done, but sometimes that's all it is with surrender. When I'm splitting the deck, when you're resting, understand that it is angelic protection, even if you want to think about what others are thinking, because when you are in a routine or you have a certain way of doing things, a lot of the times it's easy to consider what others will perceive about it. Or if I don't post today, then they might think. Or if I go ghost for 3 months, if I take a break from a year, do what it is that you need to do to get to the next level. And it's not always going to look like something that makes you happy. But again, part of that process is self-acceptance. You cannot only accept yourself in positive times. Yes, you can coerce yourself out of that space mentally, but you also need to know how to sit in a state of acceptance. Your sadness is a part of you, your grief is a part of you, your anger, your rage, those things are a part of you. So don't let moments surrender again. And I did shuffle before splitting, but don't let those moments make you feel like it isn't worth it. Or and last but not least, do not allow physical differences or any kind of difference. I'll say 3D because finances, religion, spirituality, things like that, sometimes don't allow us to connect to the people that we're meant to be connected with, the people who are supposed to be on our path to bring us answers. And I did post this on my main personal page, where a lot of the time the people that we are around based on environment are not the people that are meant to grow with us. When you're doing work on a solo level, which if you're watching this video 9 times out of 10, hopefully 10 times, 11 times out of 10, you're doing the work that most people aren't doing. And when you understand that about yourself, you will not allow yourself to get in the way of what's supposed to be. And in regards to friendship and union, call on your guides, intergalactic even, to be used in others to get messages to you. In yesterday's message, signs and reminders did come out. And to me, it just goes to say that you don't know based on the physical vessel who's here to guide you, who is here to lead you. And discernment is key always. I don't feel like that's something that I have to state. But in the same breath, don't block people off because they're not your usual kind. With my personal deck, we have who gives off the mysterious vibe. Who do you think has the most spontaneous personality? What's the vibe? And when do you feel most appreciated? Sometimes we get online and we connect with people, and it's easy to feel a sense of camaraderie or just familiarity. But in your day-to-day interactions, online as well, Who is inspiring you to be a better version of yourself is what I have here. And it's easy to replay past hurt, betrayal of why you don't trust people, which again, if you're someone who's doing the work, the internal work, the nitty gritty, you've been betrayed, you've been hurt, you've been backstabbed, you've been lied to, you've been manipulated, all things of the sort. So it's not a matter of, holding that standard and keeping other people to it, or keeping holding other people to that standard of being betrayed or hurt or abused. It's more so learning the lesson and putting yourself in a mental position to not repeat it. When you put yourself in that position, it allows you to connect with people who are meant to encourage you, support you. And even if the interactions don't go as you think, what are you supposed to be learning from that lesson? A lot of the greatest lessons that I've learned have come from people who ultimately, it at first seems like we were butting heads, and not even that we went on, not even the fact that we went on to become buddy buddy. That's not always the instance, or that's not always the case. But in this scenario and in this context, I do mean it in a way where you could learn a lesson from someone who, on a 3D level, it looks like you're having a verbal squabble with. There's a lesson to be learned in that. So don't just hold people to one way of being when there's lessons to be learned from everything. Don't block yourself off. And more than that, call on your guides. I know a lot of people want to connect mentally, but understand that spirits are spirits. Possession doesn't have to be negative. If you are putting the intent that you want an answer, not even need, but you want an answer, or you're looking for a new solution, you're looking for a sign, you're looking for a reminder, make sure your mind, your body language is open to receiving those things. If not, you're doing a disservice to yourself. And again, angelic protection is here. So again, discernment is key, but do not block yourself off. And with that, I will talk to you guys later. I'm out.